Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today's video I'm here to give you 5 things which I believe we learned from the game against Sunderland, where unfortunately we did lose 2-1 at home. But before I do, please drop a like on today's video. Can we hit a like target of 130 likes? The only reason why I ask, it helps the channel grow, it reaches a new audience, and I really want to push this channel as much as I can throughout this football season. So please smash that like button, it does help a lot. Comment as well what the 5 things you believe you learnt from the game against Sunderland, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, it is free to do so. So number 1, what did we learn from the game against Sunderland? Well, Elijah has now started his season, he's got a goal. That goal which we've all been waiting for. He should have had about 5 or 6 goals, but he's finally got it, and he got it against Sunderland. Morris at the back post, played it across goal. Elijah, he couldn't miss, could he? He just needed to get some part of his body on that ball, headed it home, and he's now off and running for the season, and I can't wait to see what that does for him. You notice straight away his confidence went through the roof, and I just hope he can take that confidence and take it into these next difficult games which we've got coming up. And yeah, he should start scoring a lot more. I feel like him and Morris, especially since they've come back, since Morris has come back from injury after this international break, they've worked extremely well together. And I feel like the tactics and the system which we're currently playing is also helping our strikers, because they both look like they can score. I felt Morris should have got a legit goal against Sunderland from that corner, which was offside. I don't think it was. I've watched it plenty of times back. But look, they're working extremely well together, and that's what we want to see, because I feel like since the start of the season we haven't quite seen that frequently enough. So really happy that those two are now performing, but more importantly, Elijah is up and running for the season. Number 2, our final ball deliveries I don't think were consistent enough, and I do think they let us down. And I am going to talk about Alfie, because it's a weird situation, because yes, although he's created the most opportunities in the league, he does take set pieces, so that does help with that stat. But what I find quite frustrating is, why is it always him taking it? I feel like at times when you have back-to-back corners, so we go from one end of the pitch to the other, I feel like waiting for him to get to the other end, it just slows down that momentum and that pace and that rhythm which you're trying to build. I don't understand why he's the only one that can take him. You know, these players, they're professional footballers. Surely they're not incapable of not taking set pieces. And what happens basically when Alfie gets injured? If we don't have someone else, like a backup choice, taking these set pieces, are we going to be absolutely awful? Are we going to have no idea? So I would like us to change it up a bit. I know Alfie's really good, but there are times where he does take sometimes a couple set pieces to then put a really good one into the box. And I don't think it's fair, and I do think we should change it up a little bit. I also want to see Alfie cut inside and shoot more. I know he doesn't favour that right foot enough, but I would like it because he gets into really good positions, and I feel like we can hurt a lot more teams if he does cut in, rather than doing that predictable cross. I did think if our final ball deliveries were a little bit better against Sunderland, we could have really caused them a few more problems, because Luke 09, although he's played centre-half for Sunderland over the last couple of seasons, he isn't a natural centre-half like Metham, the centre-back partnership, which he had for Sunderland yesterday. Like, he's a Welsh international defender, played in the Premier League, whereas Luke 09 isn't. He used to play midfield, and he's now been transferred into being a centre-half. So we should have proper targeted him, and I felt like we could have done that a lot better with better balls into the box, and we didn't quite do that. I felt it was lacking, not just with Alfie, but with multiple attacking players. And that goes to the third thing which I want to talk about, and it does involve an attacking player, and that is Chong. I do think the people have been overly critical of him. I think on his day, Chong can destroy anyone, and I also believe we don't have anyone like him in the team. And it is quite different, you know, he is a natural winger. He's now being asked to play as a number 10. It's slightly different in terms of what you're being asked to do. But I do think he was fouled for the second goal, and I have watched it back. Bellingham does pull him, which makes him lose the ball. Yes, he could have released the ball a lot sooner, but I don't think there was much movement from the other Luton players around him at the time for Sunderland's second goal. Yes, he was at fault for the first. You know, he can't be doing that. That was a really poor back pass. But I do think Chong creates a lot of opportunities and he does cause teams a lot of problems. And what people seem to forget is he wins a lot of fouls. That's what he does. And that allows us to put dangerous balls into the box. That's why we had so many opportunities to put the ball into the box against Sunderland, because of him. Same against Watford as well. He will win loads of fouls. But we don't have anyone like him. Now, we have a player that is attacking, an attacking midfielder at the football club, but he keeps being injured. He keeps getting injured, in fact, and that is Shannon Baptiste. The one player which I was delighted we brought in, because I knew if we can keep him fit, he can cause teams all sorts of problems. But yet again, he's injured, and this is really frustrating, because as someone who even came to the football club and said, I want to play football, I want to play regular football, I want to keep fit, I want to get over these injuries, he keeps getting injured, and it's letting the team down a little bit. I know injuries happen, but this is really frustrating, because he is someone that offers something a little bit different. He is that creative spark sometimes, and the fact that we can't, you know, play him one day and play Chong another is quite frustrating, because I do think Chong should be dropped to the bench. But who do you have to replace him? You can't really play Brown in that position, because I don't think Brown's a number 10. I don't think Nelson's a number 10 either. Maybe Woodrow, who has played number 10 before. But I feel like fans are critical with Woodrow as well. So look, it's a difficult situation to be in, and maybe it's something we have to look at in January in bringing another attacking player. Moses could probably also play as a number 10, but because we're playing him as a right wing back because of our injury crisis, there's not really much we can do. So look, it's a difficult situation, but only because we don't have the players to play a certain way doesn't mean you keep playing the players that are underperforming. So yeah, I think against Coventry we may have to drop Chong, maybe bring him on from the bench, because what an option it would be from the bench to cause some problems. And yeah, so that's my third thing which I felt we learned from the game. Number 4, Tom Holmes. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Now, when I watched him in pre-season, I thought, oh my god, what have we got as a defender? But when we originally signed him, I thought instantly this was the Tom Lockyer replacement. And last night against Sunderland, I actually thought Tom Lockyer was on the pitch. I thought he did exactly what Tom Lockyer would have done. Win your battles, be aggressive, step into the midfield to play some nice passing to beat the Sunderland press. I thought he was absolutely outstanding. And considering he hasn't played much, considering he played really well against Watford on Saturday when he played 45 minutes, brilliant 90 minutes against Sunderland. Yes, we conceded 2 goals, but I don't think he had any involvement with those 2 goals. I thought he was brilliant, and I felt he did show a little bit of leadership as well. He should just keep this up, because if he keeps it up, the likes of Menji and also Anderson, they're not guaranteed to walk straight into the team. So look, Tom Holmes, keep this up, because that's two very good performances, and I feel like the style of play suits him and also McGuinness. I don't feel like we've got ball playing defenders, and I don't like taking those risky passes in the defensive half. I really don't. You look at teams like Southampton who are just struggling trying to play that way. There's no point. Just beat the press, go long, and win your battles in midfield. Win the first battle, win the second, win the third. Be aggressive in your out of possession press in the attacking half, and then you can do what you need to do going forward. But look, I thought Tom Holmes, brilliant. Hopefully he can keep it up. And finally, the last thing I do want to talk about is I felt the subs. They were wrong. I thought it was the wrong subs last night. And the timing of the subs. I felt as soon as Sunderland got that second goal, I felt we should have made the subs then. But I think we waited a little bit. I thought Zach Nelson was the wrong sub. I feel like I haven't seen enough from Zach Nelson that makes me believe and feel like he can handle games like last night. I just feel like, not like he's too lightweight, I just haven't seen enough from him. And I just can't quite put my like words around why. I don't know, I just don't feel like he's ready yet. And I feel like we should have had a more senior pro who could have coped with that battle. I feel like the first sub should have been, because Zach Nelson came on to play as a number 10. I felt like that should have been Woodrow, the senior pro. He's dealt with these types of things a lot more. He keeps control of the ball, he's very technical. I felt that should have been the sub then. And then the last sub in Joe Taylor, what's the point for 5 minutes? There's not, we keep doing this to this young lad who I feel like is being treated a bit harshly here. Like, what's he meant to do in 5 minutes? There's not much. I know we're pushing and chasing for that equaliser, but unless it falls to him, he's going to probably get one opportunity, if that, and you're hoping he takes it. I just think it's extremely unfair, and if we're going to bring him on, give him at least 10 minutes. Not 5 minutes in added time. That's not going to do anything. It really isn't. And I just feel sorry for the lad. And if we keep this up, he's going to go in January. He's going to demand a move because he wants to play regular first team football. And I don't blame him. You scored 20 goals across 2 loan spells last year. You want to be scoring goals and playing this season. So look, we've got to be careful because we don't want to upset him. And I feel like that's exactly what we're doing. But yeah, I thought the subs, I felt like they could have been better. Different personnel at different times would have been a lot better. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it. Comment below what you learnt from the game against Sunderland. I'm going to the Coventry game, so I'll give you the match preview tomorrow. And yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully Luton trying to bounce back against Coventry, which will be a very tough game as there's a lot of pressure in Coventry at the moment. So yeah, it's going to be interesting and also exciting. I'll see you tomorrow.